D. In the bottom left starting location with awesome 2-Rex Reaper play, we have
Liquid TaeJa.
Has the 3 icicles coming out of his command center.
And in the upper right, in the red, the legend from Brood War, he is
SK Telecom T1 Fantasy.
Right, let's
talk.
Raphael Sai coming out of his command center.
Oh yeah, he does. Look at that. Raphael, maybe my least favorite turtle.
He was my favorite.
Become double Yeti.
TaeJa became double Yeti?
Oh, became, excuse me.
What does that mean?
I don't know. That must be some...
I think I missed something.
I don't know.
Double Yeti. The only Yeti...
Maybe it's something on TeamLiquid.net.
When I think of Yeti, I think of Ski Free.
Ski Free?
Yeah, do you remember the game Ski Free? You ski down the mountain and do tricks and stuff, and then finally, when you get far enough, a Yeti comes and eats you.
Oh my god, that game's old, right?
You do really, yeah.
That's the game that I... That's why I had to cheat in all my computer programming classes in high school, because I was playing those Flash games.
It was.
I remember this. Wait, no, was it a Flash game?
It wasn't Flash.
It was not.
Actual,
no.
It was an actual program. But like, you would get really far.
Oh, no, I think they made it into a Flash game later on.
They probably did.
Yeah.
It was a classic. It was actually a lot of fun. I was very good at ski.
You were a pro gamer at
I
that?
could stay away from that Yeti for a reasonable amount of time.
What are some other really old games? Did you ever play like
Chips
any
Challenge?
I played like super young Number Munchers or whatever. Like
Oh yeah, Number Munchers.
Games.
Yeah.
The game's fun. And then like Word Munchers, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
I was a Word Munchers. I was a Word Munchers pro gamer.
Were you?
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah. Sponsored by Webster's Dictionary.
We do have Reaper builds from both players coming out here.
We still don't know if they're going to stick with Bio or go mech. So
yeah, you can open
I'm
Reaper
guessing that he's going to go mech on this map. Fantasy is.
Yeah, it definitely could be. It's a map where you can pretty easily defend. You know, once you get that 4th base, it kind of defends everywhere if you have a good amount of turrets and stuff like that. So we'll see. But again, you have to watch out for those medevac drops. He dealt with it very well by being very aggressive himself and having a reasonable fleet of Vikings early on.
Yeah.
But Aklon Waste is like... It seems like the map if you're going to go back in TVT. There's like so many ledges to guard things on and whatnot. All right, so seeing this SCV in rain, I think Fantasy already knows exactly what's coming at him because this is what these guys both did game 1.
Right. All right, the Reaper's going to come up here. Now, that command center is on low ground, so if he can get that to cancel, that's going to be huge.
Oh, he loses his Reaper.
That's so bad. And
Good
I don't know if he's going to be able to keep this command center now.
You know, that was a little bit too greedy by Fantasy because he wanted to not lose the SCV making the command center, but...
Oh, sick! So sick!
Wow.
That was really nicely done. Oh, he's going to get out again. Look how much blood that Reaper made.
Yeah, well, he exploded. He has those nitro packs. Those are very explosive tastes.
Wow, that SCV actually got away. Okay.
Oh, these guys are good.
Yeah.
I don't mean to be dumb sounding, but
I mean, there's some really nice plays going on.
Yeah, pulling things away at that close is like, wow.
All right, Starport building now.
For both players. Command centers for both players. Approximately at the same place. TaeJa's just a little bit quicker as he did delay Fantasies for quite a bit. I can't wait to see if Fantasy goes for mech again. I don't think TaeJa will. TaeJa's like really good against mech a lot of the time. Has definitely played some of my favorite anti-mech bio styles that I've seen.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I remember back in Wings of Liberty, towards the end he did... I think it was on this map actually, and I think it was TaeJa that did like the best anti-mech bio play ever. Like he looked so good.
Oh, I think, we cast that game.
Yeah. I do believe so.
I think that was TaeJa. I don't remember who that was against.
Yeah, I don't...
Was it against Ryung or something like that?
It could have been, something like that.
You know, we cast so many games. It's actually insane.
Everything's insane today.
Well, we got Fantasy, as he's been in most of these games, in the defensive position early on. TaeJa's one of these guys who likes to be active out on the map. Now we have Fantasy moving out, so TaeJa's going to go ahead and retreat and regroup.
And he does have a Viking out to help deal with any drops that are incoming now. A couple Widowmines and a couple Hellions. This could be scary.
Yeah, now he does have a Viking here to defend.
Yeah.
And that's really what TaeJa should have had in that first game that we saw, where he just kept getting dropped and just slowly got whittled down.
Yeah.
Oh. All right, here we go.
Wow, really good catch right there. He's going to have to watch out for these Widowmines dropping out, and oh my god, is he going to actually... He kills the first Widowmine, can he kill the second?
Completely shut this down. Now the Widowmine's out.
Wow.
But I think one scan... Oh, look at Fantasy being a smart nerd.
This is what he does. This is how good he is. Oh my god. That was dealt with better than you could ever imagine.
Yeah, he's so good.
And, well, you know, you can already see he's almost twice as efficient, and he's going to have a Raven out.
Yeah.
So, you know, that Raven is going to be pretty helpful, I would say. You know, Widowmines aren't going to really do anything. He's going to start saving up energy for point defense drones because he is going mech once again.
I wonder if we're going to still see a ton of Widowmines in TVT, because you could see people are really getting good at handling them. When they first were released in the beta, everybody's like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But now that people have gotten used to them.
I think they'll still have their place. I think they're still a useful unit.
Let's talk about how hard Brood War was, man. Some of the Dragoons
People
would just
wouldn't
bug
believe
up.
us. People wouldn't
Terran
believe us.
players actually had to be careful because their SCVs could block the other depots from making, because they would move around.
Yeah.
It was actually insane.
Yeah, in fact, making supply depots as Terran was harder than like any other esport aside from Starcraft 2, in my opinion.
and then, of course, Zerg, you had so many units on hockeys. You had like 8 control groups of units on hockeys.
And that couldn't even fill up your army.
That's usually like, in the first 10 to 15 minutes,
It's pretty crazy. Some people didn't even hockey their units because there were too many.
Yeah. And then you get into battle, you're like, oh my god, I gotta retreat. And you're like, all right, well, I have to tell keys 1 through 8 to turn around.
Yeah. You have 5 different bases, you have to jump to each to macro.
Yeah.
Craziness. All right, so let's take a look at what's going on exactly. We do have good upgrades on the way for TaeJa already, upgrading early and often. And, that was a nice scan by Fantasy that did see the 3rd command center timing, showing that TaeJa is not committing too heavily to attacks early on. Definitely we should be seeing some harassment out of him, but not really focusing on that as heavily. Really just trying to get the bigger eco going.
All right. Nice little drop in over here. And I don't think it's going to do as much damage. He's probably going to pick up and leave here.
That's okay, though.
You got to note that TaeJa still never gets one Viking. And the problem is, even just one Viking, guys, you could chase out a medevac. He can't do what he's doing now. See how he's just kind of going through the corners of TaeJa's base and just saying, can I drop here? No. All right, I'll move back, like he's doing now.
He really should make one Viking. It is true. If he had that, this medevac would have had to leave. Oh, he might catch it anyways, though. No,
nope.
Not quite.
See?
Boost.
Okay, there's the Viking.
Okay, here we go.
For some reason, we can't fly down anymore.
Land on that planet. But that's a gas giant. It's okay. Well, these Hellions going to be met with a big Marauder force, not able to do anything.
Yep.
And so now TaeJa's done a good job of catching back up. He was a bit behind as far as the resources lost, but at this point, a little bit ahead. He's stabilizing. He has his 3rd base up a bit quicker, but not a lot quicker. So this is the time where he's going to have to either decide, does he try to expand more, or does he really get offensive? Does he start harassing? Because mech on 3 bases this quickly in Heart of the Swarm, I feel like this is not really something we see all that often right now from current mech TVT players.
Yeah. We are learning right now. Well, from here, Fantasy's going to have to turtle.
Yeah,
for a while.
Well, he's making so many missile turrets.
Yeah.
He has a lot already.
He knows how to do it.
And I love these.
You want to actually, in a way, almost overmake missile turrets in this?
Look at that. Oh, never mind. I was like, what? Is he retargeting a bunch of times?
Can you spam stop on a Widowmine and make it not attack? Or is
you can tell to retarget, and then it resets its lock-on time.
Okay. So you could theoretically, you have the Widowmine target something that's in their base, even though it's
No, it has to be in the range.
In the vision range of it, or in the... Okay, all right.
It has to be in the actual attack range, I do believe. Yes. All right, more factories on the way. Lots of Hellbats still being made. Looks like he wants to do a Hellbat drop. But look, TaeJa has made that change of having the Viking out. And this is really going to affect Fantasy. Fantasy won the first game in no small part to his drops. And while he can boost pass, how many times can he do this?
Yeah. Now he's going to hit these SCVs and hit them hard.
Whoa.
I don't know why he's attacking with the SCVs.
Well, you know what? He dealt with that well.
TaeJa's play here and there just seems a little bit off. Just a little bit.
No, he
Just a few
ended up
small
dealing with
mistakes.
it pretty well. I really like that he's gotten the Viking, though, because that's really the one thing he could have changed last game and had a huge result. And either he figured out or someone told him or something, because this, if Fantasy can't kill SCVs all game long, if you can shut down completely his harassment, you've gone a long way towards winning.
Absolutely.
A long, long way.
Absolutely. All right, well, map control still is here for TaeJa. Now, TaeJa will probably park at his opponent's Zelnaga watchtower. But hold that thought. We have the medevac coming here now.
Ooh.
And dropping right on these SCVs. Oh, a little bit of a misdrop there.
And he really isn't doing much. Great defense by TaeJa. Well,
now, I don't know if he's going to push in here or if he's going to go for a contain. I would think going for contain's better and just waiting the mech and Terran out.
Maybe. Attacking can be dangerous, especially against an already sieged up line, especially when there's already a probably full energy Raven out. In fact, I think that definitely has been out long enough. It should have 2-point defense drones ready. Oh, nice move right there. And he's going to pick off quite a few siege tanks so far.
Yep, pushing up. And now he's getting this command center. That's going to be a forced cancel right there. That means no matter what, the 4th base for Fantasy is going to be behind.
Yeah, very much later than what he wanted. Trying to pick off some medevacs.
All right, now he's going to back up just slightly. Whoa, the nick of time gets out there.
All right, so let's see here. As far as how Fantasy's doing, see, he's having to throw down 2 command centers at the same time, realizing, having the 4th delay that much, he's going to have to double expand as quickly as possible. He's going to have to actually push on the map. That's actually going to be the hardest part, though. And, ooh, I like this a lot by TaeJa, but we'll talk about that in a second because it looks like Fantasy has decided he wants to break out now.
All right, he's going to bust out this second. Now, he sees him stimming up. I'm surprised he didn't go in there a little bit sooner. He can kite these Hellbats here. And, that was actually well handled by both of them. Oh, no. Oh, sick.
Nice secret missile there.
Yeah, really nice.
And Fantasy just creeping forward. TaeJa's doing a good job of jumping backwards, trying to be cost efficient against this, trying to slow Fantasy down, and expanding a couple times also.
All right. Now, okay, this is a really nice position here for TaeJa. Actually, I don't know. Should TaeJa actually back up right now? I feel like he should hold the tower. Or is he just inching back behind the tower?
I think he's inching back.
Okay, I was going to say, he shouldn't give this up.
Because I think what he's waiting for is for enough to unsiege, because he does have that tower and you can see it. Then he can stim and run in.
Yeah.
He's going to hit from 150 degrees or so.
The positioning is so big, there's no way that one screen can capture it. All right, here we go.
Uh-oh, this is a huge stim in from all over the place, almost all hitting at once. Now, these Hellbats doing a great job, and actually the siege tanks as well. And
you know what? He completely disarmed that.
Yeah, Fantasy really does crush that.
I guess meching for 10 years in Brood War helps a lot.
Yeah,
I guess you get pretty good with mech then.
As we can see, he does have that supply lead now. But you know what? TaeJa's actually doing something that I wanted to talk about before, but it got too intense. He started to stockpile Ravens. And I absolutely love this because the new Secret Missile is really nice. It's going to be useful against mech with its new improved range. Yeah. And the thing is, when you go bio, the non-stop, you actually bank so much gas, and even when you mine out completely, you end up at the end and you're like, well, I have 3,000 gas.
Yeah, that's true.
So adding those is great, but here we go. Actually, Fantasy, is he overcommitting slightly, losing a lot of siege tanks, but gaining a lot of ground?
He still has more than enough for the siege tanks, and he's got the spotter Vikings and medevacs. So TaeJa's going to have to burn scans. This should allow Fantasy to get over to where the 4th base is now for TaeJa.
Yeah. Now, he is switching slightly into Sky Terran. We mentioned the Ravens before. He's mixing some Vikings and getting Banshees now. So, without a single Thor out, with this army that he has, and the Banshees coming up, he's going to be able to push him back to turrets, and he's going to have to wait until either he gets a lot of Vikings out and switches into Sky Terran himself, or he gets up to Thors.
Is he going to go for Seeker Missile here?
He may. I think he's going to use Point Defense Drone to start.
Oh, I see the Banshees back here as well. This is actually going to drive him all the way back.
Yeah.
He's going to lose a lot of siege tanks.
He definitely could, and as you unsiege and run away from this type of thing, your opponent can stim and run in. This is looking a little bit rough. He can't even siege right now.
No.
Well, he does go ahead and siege, but he's going to need a lot more anti-air than what we're seeing here. The Banshee's starting to pick off everything. His own Vikings coming up.
Is this going to be enough, though?
No, that's...
you know,
TaeJa has done a great switch here in Skyterran. This is really rough. He needs a Thor out.
Yeah, he absolutely needs a Thor out. There's 2 on the way. They're only halfway done being manufactured. And it looks like this turret's just barely going to get up. But the Banshees will take it out in time.
Not making that much of a difference, really. These Banshees just dealing so much damage that this is terribly cost efficient for TaeJa.
This is incredibly cost efficient. These 2 Banshees are worth their weight in gold.
Yeah, oh man, right before that turret finishes as well. Very well done. Another turret out here, but those point defense drones really paying off, and down
finally
from the Thors
are here.
So he should be stabilizing, but TaeJa's taking a spy lead from this.
Wow, TaeJa beat him all the way back. These guys are playing so well. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Drop here by Fantasy. We got the tail end of that.
But still, his drop's not nearly as effective as the game previous.
Right.
Good missile turret placement, good Viking patrolling routes.
Yeah.
And as we see, TaeJa, well, he's down at 55 SCVs, but he's definitely got a lot of mules dropping. In fact, 12 mules out right now against 75 SCVs from Fantasy.
Now, Fantasy's only just now taking this bottom right location. TaeJa had his upper left location for him, the 5th base, a little bit sooner. But it looks like now we have both players moving out. And we're going to have an engagement definitely at the bottom over here, where most of the army here for Fantasy is. But we could have a drop. Is it going to be a drop? No, just a Sky Terran army upper right. And the map is now like officially cut completely in half.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to get to the point in time where top expansion and bottom expansion in the middle are going to be needed, but we'll see. It's happened before.
You know, if you can take those, well, great, but you know, it's not something that's so easy. Now, nice drop going down on these siege tanks. They had no help bats there to help, but he does move up, retakes the position, and
you know the Hellbats have so much HP they might as well be called Health Bats. Ooh, yeah,
Health Bats, yeah.
Help Bats, Health Bats, Kelp Bats,
Kelp Bats.
Yeah,
I don't know about that
Kelp's really good for you.
Well, they have.
No, that's kale. Excuse me. What is kelp?
Kelp is very good for you as well.
Is it? All right.
All right, here we go. Another drop coming down on these siege tanks. In the meantime, coming from behind is TaeJa.
Is he going to sandwich this army? He couldn't have taken out that planetary. Stimming and backing up now, realizing siege tanks are too strong.
Yeah, the siege tank's doing a great job, and in fact, TaeJa brings some of his own siege tanks under that watchtower, but the Hellbats just walking forward and dealing a lot of damage, cleaning up those siege tanks. Hellbat's up at the top as well, and it looks like he will whittle this down.
All these tanks are getting taken out. This is going to take a long time to rebuild.
Yeah. You know, Fantasy was in the middle of a change to Skyterran himself, building a lot of starports during this, but he hasn't quite stabilized yet. TaeJa's still getting in and mixing things up and dealing some damage, and that is a really important thing to do right now.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. Well, I guess I was wrong. I said we probably wouldn't see those expansions take it, but now he's taking the top center and he's about to take the bottom center.
Yeah.
That's going to be really hard to hold, though.
Well, I think that's an area where you start to drop mules and just get whatever minerals you can. Because
probably make those into planetaries, too, and you just suck up all the minerals you possibly can.
And with both players going Skyterran plus a lot of siege tanks, this could turn into a game where the map gets mined out. So any mineral you can get is a pretty valuable mineral. Yeah, well, I mean, I guess it's worth 5 every time because there's no gold on the map, but still a valuable mineral.
Still is a valuable mineral,
yes. A penny gained is a penny earned.
All right. He's going to push forward over here. Vikings now taking out a lot of these medevacs, which is really important. There's really no way with those siege tanks covering the ground there to stop those Vikings from doing the damage that it's doing right now. And, you know, Fantasy is going to get economically choked out if TaeJa holds this position for too much longer.
Yeah, he's doing a great job, man. TaeJa, even though we're seeing him lose big chunks of army quite often, doesn't matter. He's taking these 2 extra bases. His economy isn't really being all that badly hurt, but Fantasy's making a pretty big switch into Skyterran here. He's already got 7 Vikings, 6 Ravens, a lot of Hellbats in here because he has all those extra minerals, but he's going into battle cruisers. And once you get battle cruisers out, let's not forget, they got a buff in Heart of the Swarm. They deal much better anti-ground damage. So it's a powerful combination.
All right, you can see Fantasy now desperately trying to get out of his base. Going to get into his side of the map, but he's going to end up giving up the bottom right expansion here. There's nothing that he can do to save this as the command center goes down. But did he manage to break through? It doesn't seem like he has. Oh no, excuse me. He does have an answer for TaeJa's air army. Now the question is, does TaeJa turn around and go back and try to save his base, or does he keep pushing deeper into Fantasy's territory? It looks like the answer is going to be deeper.
And he's going to get those starports, which is going to be absolutely huge. Each one of them building a battle cruiser, which are going to be really useful in a base trade situation, but something he's not going to have.
Oh my God. We got Seeker missiles coming out here and destroying these siege tanks. Fantasy keeps pushing onward, but he is losing his base at a quicker rate here as TaeJa is destroying those starports.
And he might want to lift up those Vikings. He is pushing forward, targeting down siege tanks as quickly as he possibly can, but he doesn't want to lose all of these either.
Fantasy pushing forward more now, reinforcing with more tanks. Probably going to repair this planetary just to buy time for as long as possible. Fantasy's base becoming more and more barren. It does look like Fantasy's just now starting to push deeper into TaeJa's territory, but is it going to be enough?
Yeah, this is getting
this mega army doesn't heal very easily. It doesn't have a bunch of SCVs to repair it, so every little bit of damage it takes, that's the key.
That is very true. Well said, Tasteless. And as it gets smaller, it gets weaker and weaker against bio-type
it becomes more brittle. And, you got to keep in mind, too, but also, in fairness, if he gets onto the high ground where those barracks are in factory, he might just win that way. So it looks like TaeJa's now turned around. And if I'm analyzing this correctly, I think TaeJa will just barely hold this off.
You might be right. You might be right. It's actually kind of hard to call right at this second because TaeJa doesn't actually have any bank. He's having a hard time producing a lot. And there is a good position there, but Fantasy is barely mining right now as well.
And I'm kind of surprised he went back with that, but well, let's see. It looks like he just wants to catch reinforcements. That's smart because you get them when they're not quite sieged up yet.
Well, these Hellbats dealing a lot of damage to that Bioforce, but it looks like the Siege Tanks and Marauders will cut through all these Siege Tanks. And TaeJa taking a little bit more control here.
Fantasy is almost completely dried up. He has almost no more minerals he can gather.
Yeah, he's only gathering at that third that has nothing. It has, what, 3 patches?
Yeah. Yeah, you're correct.
Well, this Hellbat's going to take out that mineral line.
All right, well, he just evacuates. I don't know what more of a plan Fantasy has.
Well, I think he has to actually basically win with what he has here, but he's not doing it quick enough. He's trying to just kill the place that's being or the production facilities. Get up there and stop those, and then it doesn't matter how many minerals you have because you can't produce anything. But TaeJa right now is starting to spread those out a little bit more, making barracks on other parts of the map. And this is... I don't know if that army can actually win that. It's a lot of SCVs in there. They look like mech, but they're not.
They have mech suits, but really they're bio workers here.
And, well, running forward are these Hellbats. Doing a good job. He does pick up one in an SCV. That SCV taking the spot of another Hellbat.
And, well, I think he could just kite these Hellbats, really.
Landing his Vikings, definitely a good time to do so. He's got to get something done here. Can he kill off all the rest of this? It looks like he might just barely not. Well, wait a minute. What? Well, I just watched 2 SCVs clean up the rest of it.
This is 8 SCVs to 13.
Wow. This is just crazy. The supply 79 to 101.
If their SCVs count as both this low, then it's actually possible for Fantasy to win still.
And you know what? He has the Seeker missiles. I didn't think it would come to this, but when neither player has really anything coming in,
spells matter.
Yeah, they become the most cost-efficient things, and he will eventually pick things off with this. Because what is TaeJa mining from? Anything really? Oh my God! And Fantasy makes 5 Widow Mines. That is a great idea.
Yeah, that's super smart. Oh, but he's losing workers over here.
So he can't really scan right now, and there's no Raven out for TaeJa. So those Widow Mines are going to be really effective.
It's like we almost didn't even realize it because TaeJa was losing some workers here and there and everywhere, and we're mostly watching this push. But yeah, this is like one of these crazy endgame scenarios.
Yeah.
This is the hardest part of Starcraft 2.
The cleverest player will probably end up winning here. I think as far as armies go, I think that Fantasy has a little bit of an edge if he's in position. Now, if we can get a big flank by TaeJa, his army, I would say, would definitely win. But, you know, with these Widow Mines popping out, he can set himself up in a spot where he's not going to be killable.
Yeah.
And that's what he's doing here. He's going to siege up. He's got the Vikings to stop any drops. He's going to have, you know, plenty of energy on the Ravens. And, of course, with those Widow Mines, that's going to be very helpful, too. But we still have a lot of command centers for TaeJa, so he's going to be dropping a lot of mules. Look at that, 4 mules out right now with his 9 SCVs. That makes a big difference.
And, you know, remember, with the Widow Mines, obviously Terran wants to, you know, drop mules because he needs the money, so forcing him to scan like this is totally worth it. All right, this is it.
He's going for it. A lot of point defense drones going out, but there's not that many Marauders. There's more Marines, really. And, in fact, he does throw out a nice seeker missile. And it looks like he might
He's going to land his
barely
Vikings,
break
I
it
think,
through.
in a second on these siege tanks. This is insane.
He basically has to land them, and he should end up killing these.
Yep.
So this is what a wild game that we're seeing here. It's 34 supply to 25.
This is crazy. All right, so also note that TaeJa has taken this base over here near the center. I can't believe how sick this game is.
11 mules are out for Fantasy
This is probably going to be one of the best games of the season.
It could be.
I mean, this is top to top. That's so many mules.
Now, look, we're going to see like these little tiny forces going on because nobody really has anything right now. Oh, my God. And at this point, what does Fantasy make? He's making some Hellions and some Siege Tanks. I guess that's okay. In the meantime, he's flying around, and I think that's a single Widow Mine. Imagine if it was an SUV. He's like, well, I got to harass with something.
Well, hopefully he'll move those SCVs soon.
I wouldn't move them. You got to get minerals right now.
That's true.
Well, this is a very
TaeJa
powerful
actually
attack.
do it?
Well, he's going to lose that command center.
Well, what else does he actually have, though?
Well, he has other command centers. He has one more command center that can fly.
Oh, and he has
right?
3 Vikings, 4 Hellions, and 3 tanks.
Yeah, and he has the Widow Mines that are out there. And in fact, those Widow Mines are going to activate soon and kill some of these off. Oh, my God, that's a good scan. Wow.
Really nicely done.
Oh, he was like flanked by Widow Mines. Fantasy was probably like, well, these will kill his army and I'll go back out there. But now he has to break that location at a watchtower, which is going to be hard.
All right, now he's hitting these Hellbats.
Oh, he was trying to target down that medevac.
He can actually just kite these. They don't have a lot of range.
That is true. I think TaeJa may have done it now. Well, the thing is he's mining. So he's going to keep making units, whereas Fantasy's playing with almost nothing.
Well, he's also been going mech, so that you have to have a lot more of that for it viable. So he's going to run. This is smart.
What does Fantasy do here? He lands his...
I don't know.
No, he has one more command center after this
one. Sick. Subs. Oh, rats, says Fantasy.
That's what he says, rats.
Curses. Whatever it takes to buy time so that command center is
well.
He caught him when he wasn't quite in siege mode. Look at that. Now he's kiting it back.
Well, hold on.
Well,
thing is, more and more units are being made for TaeJa.
Look, these units are actually just not dealing damage.
Yeah, Fantasy this is his last little attack right here. He needs to do it. And it doesn't look like he's going to be able to. We should be seeing a GG in just a second.
Yep, that should be it. Yeah, I think that's GG.
I don't think
he's going to
Fantasy
try
can
to
win
get
with
some more minerals here.
He's got 2 Widow Mines.
This is true.
So he's down to 1 SCV and 2 Widow Mines. It's 11 supply. Oh no, he's making 3 islands. I'm like, that's not 11 supply.
All right, well, he's going to try to get this Widow Mine over here. Is he going to have to scan? All right, he scans that, so we'll take that out.
Was such a close game.
This was such a treat to cast. Man. GG. Wow, awesome game. Awesome game. How cool was that, man?
That was really cool.
Wow.
And TaeJa knows that was close. Like, that could have gone either way if one of them made even one different decision.
Well, I love it when you get to the end game where Suddenly, the placement of every single building matters even more. The units you have matter even more. You don't have a lot of workers. You're in a situation that you'll probably never be in quite like that again.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it really takes a lot of creativity. We saw a lot from both sides, but at the end of the day, it just didn't quite work out for Fantasy. Almost, but TaeJa, a little bit better in that situation.
Yeah. Well, we're going to go to a ZVZ next after this short break, so don't go anywhere.